So I noticed something that did work that I was hoping for is this resist of paint, because this is oil based. When you do a glaze over it, it should resist the paint. So that worked out nice. So I thought I would continue to play with this idea and see how that can add interest to this piece. And now that I know I can get this effect, I can plan to have this resist show up a little bit sooner in my design. So this is how we discover new things, and when we discover new techniques and methods that brings us joy, then we can take that to the canvas and experiment and play with that. So that is my word for 2022, joy. And my mission this year is to try and find joy in every circumstance in my life, and to be mindful of my personal vibration, so that when I am not feeling joyful, then I must pay attention to my thoughts, and that in turn affects my vibration. So that is one way to practice mindfulness and awareness, is to zone in on a particular vibration that you want to have more of in your life, and then work with that energy for a while until you become confident in it and you are able to access that vibration at will. So everything in life is a practice, really, so why not practicing your vibration as well? I'm just enjoying making marks, and we'll see how this works out. So I'm gonna do a glaze over this and allow this wax crayon to be a bit of a resist. So I think what could be a beautiful glaze is, let's glaze it with something dark. We can always bring it back up. So I'm gonna play with this turquoise, and I'm gonna add some of my turquoise into my bowl. You only need a few drops, and then I'm going to use just clean water in my pipette. I'm going to dilute because it's quite strong, the ink, and I want just a thin glaze of it. I'm going to use my fan brush to just wash this over the canvas and dilute it a lot with water. I'm just using clean water here. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that resist. Yes. I'm just going to add a bit more paint here. Just creating a beautiful underpainting for whatever. Maybe I'm going to paint my word for the year on this. I'm going to just use, wait, let's let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to try using my nail polish remover. So it has got acetone in it, and it will be similar to alcohol, so it should create some cells on here as well. So before we can do that, we just want this layer to dry a little bit, so that otherwise if there's puddles of water on the canvas, then the ethanol or the acetone will just melt into that. So you do want it to just dry a little bit, but not all the way. So we just give this top layer a quick moment to just become tacky. And you can see all the underneath layers are still there. And I absolutely love what this pencil of mine did. So let's try. I'm going to put some of it in this bowl. Then I'm going to splatter, oopsie daisy, it with a pipette on the canvas. I'm going to stand up for this. I'm going to suck up the ethanol and just dab it on there, and the underneath layers should open up a little bit. That's fun. Maybe some areas where we want a bit more, you can dab a bit more. I quite like these yellow areas here, so I think I'll open it up again with the ethanol. Oh, I keep saying ethanol, it's just nail polish remover with acetone. It looks nice. I think that's enough. So I poured out too much, I'm going to just pour it back. There we go. And now we just allow this to dry. So I think I'm going to just encourage the drying with a bit of my hairdryer. So I'm going to pause the video and get back to you. Dry, not yet. Right, I think that's dry. So you can see that the Q-Tex remover with the acetone is removed and the paint and created some interesting cell structures. That's really nice. I'm enjoying that. And the glaze was resisted with this areas that I used this dressmaker's chalk, which is oil-based chalk. It's not powder-based. So it's almost like a crayon. So it resists the paint, so that creates a beautiful texture or underlayer that's really worth playing with. I think this is a very delicate layer, so I'm going to seal this with a little bit of acrylic binder, just so that when I go over this and start working on it, I don't lift any of these thin films of glaze and wash that is on the surface now. So this just binds everything nicely to the surface. I must honestly say I absolutely love this unstretched canvas. It is such fun and joy to work with. And I've just laid it on this paper towel surface for me to work on today. It will probably stick to it now. but you guys can see it's completely there, and it doesn't crumble and create all kinds of indentations like paper can sometimes do when you do some wet mediums. So I'm really impressed, really impressed. I'm gonna get some more of this and start creating some interesting pieces on this material, because you can work completely different on a flat surface than on a canvas. So the techniques that you can use and play with is completely different, and that adds to your tool set of what you can create if you know what you can create in a different environment. So this is what these experiments are all about. So let's quickly dry this layer and see how we can use this maybe as an underpainting for my word for the year, which is joy. So I'm super impressed, and this layer is dry. I'm loving what I've created here already, and I'm so grateful for this session this afternoon that is helping me to zone in on what it is that I do want to feel more of. So when I started my art therapy session earlier today, I was feeling a little bit down and a little bit overwhelmed maybe with all of the things that is currently going on in my life, and I thought that a session in the studio might just be the thing for me to just work through some of my feelings, and I decided to use this underpainting now as a template, a playground, a way to manifest more of what I want. And this is the powerful aspect of art making and the creative process that you can bring into your life, and that is to paint your life, paint the life that you desire. Paint the things that you want to attract into your life. I cannot think that there's a more powerful mood board, or what shall we call it, manifestation board, than to paint your own vision. And when we attract more of what we want in our lives, and we focus our attention and energy more on the things that we do want and not so much on the things that we don't want, then we start using our creative faculty to manifest literally the things that we want to enjoy and experience in our lives. And in my case, I am working on expanding my energy of joy in my life. So I'm just using my chalk here to just give myself a little bit of an outline that I think might be fun, and then I'm going to do some negative painting, and I'm going to use my white acrylic ink. I think I'm going to not use that bowl again right now. Let's just work out of the bottle. And this is my own mixture, so I won't recommend doing what I'm about to do with an expensive bottle of ink. I just recycled this bottle. So this is just mostly titanium white with some acrylic medium like this that I've mixed, and some water to create my own acrylic ink of sorts. So let's get some negative painting going here. As I continue to manifest more joy in my life, I am going to have to pour this out. After all, let me just grab a little bit of a cup here. Running around in my studio. Like I said, this was a complete unplanned creative art studio session. I'm going to just decant some. I think that's wiser. more supportive to my emotional well-being, because later I might contaminate that white and then I'll be upset with myself. So I absolutely love playing with this liquid states of the acrylic inks, and let's continue. So I'm going to use negative painting now to just block my word on the canvas nicely, and let's see how that turns out. I'm going to try and be neat. That looks interesting. So I don't want to lose my entire background, so that's why I continue to work with the ink, because I thought that might remain interesting. So what do you guys do to process stress and or difficult emotional days? I would love to hear, so please share with me in a comment, what is your emotional practice? Have you tried art therapy before? Have you tried creative coaching? And here in South Africa it just started raining. Late afternoon rainstorm is quite common this time of the year. I think that is looking good. Let's add some patterns. Let's do some blocking here. Like I said, I don't necessarily want to lose the entire background, but we can make it look interesting. Create more joy. Interesting as scratch into the surface of the painting. That looks like fun. Let's see if we can repeat that. Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching. This is where the video got interrupted, my camera stopped recording, but all I did in the end was just to finish with a darker glaze, the outside perimeter of the word joy, and that helped to bring it forward. I will include another photograph of the final result. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for spending some time with me. Remember to subscribe, and if you want to see how you can deal with difficult emotions, try playing in your art studio. So that is my challenge to you. Have a great day forward, and it was great to spend time with you. See you again soon.